50,546 people seeking asylum while living in hotels in June 2023. Hotels are used to house people seeking asylum in the UK due to housing shortages. People living in hotels receive £8.86 per week to pay for clothing, mobile phone contracts, transport, and more. Hotels are designed for short stays, without living space or cooking facilities for guests. Research has shown that there is a mental health epidemic, including depression, anxiety, panic, and suicidal ideation among people living in hotels. We are 4 people who have lived in hotels for long periods of time. We haven't shared our faces or names in this film to protect our identities. We want to shed light on what the experience is really like and share some tips about things that support our mental health.
Arriving in London, this big airport, for me was just scary and confusing. I did not know who to trust and who to ask. It was just frightening to the point where what will happen to me, where will they send me? When I found out that I would be living in a hotel, I genuinely thought like, this is good. This is amazing. Wow, living in a hotel. It was like, what's the fuss? Until the point I got to the hotel, a worker told me like, you would be here maybe 1 to 2 to 3 months. We keep people that long and yeah, then we find for them a flat or something. And I was like, but that's not bad. That's good. Then I went down the next day for my first breakfast. I met people, I started making friends, and I asked them about how was the experience, or how was it living in the hotel? How long are you in the hotel? It's like, I'm here for 3 years. He tried to tell me that you'll be smiling now, but trust me, after a month you won't be smiling, and I didn't understand.
Where I come from, it is politically unstable, and the war is about to erupt at any time. I didn't care too much when I was told that I was living in a hotel, expecting that it would be for just a short period, but ended that to live there in hotel for 1 year.
I had to flee from my country because I had some political issues with the authorities there. I was threatened to be killed. From the outside, living in a hotel is very nice, but being inside the hotel was one of the hardest experiences that I lived in my life.
It was getting to a place where I didn't know myself anymore, and I was anxious in public spaces or in group setups.
I had feeling of being in limbo. I was trying to find something to give me hope.
I started having trouble sleeping because I just felt like some people maybe followed me here that I was running from. Hotel workers would ask me like, how are you really? And I would smile and say I'm okay. But I think deep down, I genuinely wasn't okay.
For anyone in a similar situation, here are our tips of how to look after your mental health.
I started reading and I started writing. It made me feel like time is going a bit faster. Basically, the book that I read was about Stoic philosophy. It was one of the books, 365 Meditations was the book of Marcus Aurelius. And he always has one line where he says, why is this not bearable? Have I endured this before? And if the answer is yes, then why is it not bearable? So whenever I'm stressed in the room or feel like I want to scream or I want to shout or I just want somebody to listen to me or something, I would just look at that and I'll be like, why is it not bearable? And I would get that calmness, assurance that, yeah, it is bearable. I would start journaling about how I was feeling when I wake up and before I go to bed. I stopped even taking my sleeping meds.
Having things that you can look up to, like volunteering, has been good for me. I volunteer in a kitchen on Tuesdays where they make soups for women in the community to just come and eat together on Tuesday afternoons. Formed friendships. I have found people who ask me how I'm doing. Like, I have made a family through volunteering. 75% of volunteers report that volunteering improves their mental health and well-being.
I'm not easy to open up to other people unless I know them for a very long time, and I was afraid or feeling that I might be judged. When I reached that level of low self-esteem and that deep depression, I decided to reach out for some help. Although it was hard for me because in my culture this is not common and it's stigmatized.
Keeping our feelings to ourselves often makes us feel lonely. Putting our feelings into words helps us understand them better.
So I made a few friends that I told them like we could just come and knock on their doors, and then we could have like, not maybe like a men's group, but maybe just like 3 or 4 guys that know each other. We could have like a sit down in the room and we would share different ideas and ideologies about life. Also, we would try to then do walking. So we would maybe go out. Like one of the guys would be the first one to show us all the places that he doesn't think we know.
You'll feel the loneliness. So I would recommend, like, if you get into that position, just share what's inside you, what you're thinking about, because most of the people you're living with, they can relate to that because they have the same circumstances, but maybe like different story. They were forced to flee from their country and they left their family back, and they are new to this society. So they can relate to that. So finding a friend or someone to talk to, it's better.
I get really anxious when I think about the future, which at the moment is so blurry. What I try to do is take a day at a time. I try to have a routine, like a bedtime routine. So my bedtime is set at 11:30. So at 11, my phone is set to remind me that it's bedtime. So I start winding down because I struggle to sleep. I reduce the amount of activity that I'm doing, if it's being on my phone or watching something. So I could read a book instead, or coloring or journaling. Sometimes I'll find that I'm sleeping while I'm in the middle of journaling. Or praying. I'm a Christian.
So I start to watch some videos on YouTube about finding the inner peace, doing meditation. Also, if you are religious, if you did prayers or connect to your God, that's one of the things that it helped me a lot. I needed to connect with God, and that give me like a sense of relief.
Prayer and meditation have been shown to calm the nervous system, which can help you control your emotions. Other things is like healthy habits, just making sure that my space is organized. Throw your shoes anywhere, your jacket is everywhere, your bed is never made, then that's how your mind is. I know that most people in situations like mine are struggling with depression and loneliness and anxiety, but just keeping your space tidy, just wake up, try and draw your curtains, let the daylight come into your room, and that, I think, switches your mind, switches your thoughts.
So when I look back to this experience that I experienced, I find that I came out of it more aware of myself and more stronger, and I feel proud of myself that I took the initiative.
I hope that sharing my story will help others in similar situations look after their mental health and make positive choices.